Everyone, I'm Theresa V, and this is the place to be if you are a sensitive love warrior, world changer who wants to feel more alive and have more energy to live on purpose in this beautiful world. Each month, I check in with our beloved archangels to see what advice they have for us in terms of navigating the energies of the time. This month, the angels are talking about our ascension process and how inspiration is integral to that process right now. The angels are talking about the surprising thing that keeps us from moving forward in our spirituality and the way we show up in the world. They talk about the physiological shifts as well as the spiritual shifts that happen when you allow your inspiration to take hold. They're talking about the biggest tripping wire we fall over when we most need inspiration. They share how, when we are fully present in a moment where we are inspired, everything we've been seeking finds us. And the most powerful way that we can become fully present in each and every moment, and it's something you probably wouldn't expect. Stay tuned. The ascension process has been long and arduous for many, and the angels understand and appreciate that and also want to celebrate you for all of the work you've done to get to this point. What happens with humanity is that we clear all of this energy, and then we get to a place where we can be in the joy, be in that ascended energy, be in that higher vibration. But instead of being able to be there and fully appreciate it, we start to freak out and to panic about what's next, what's coming up for me to clear. How do I move past this point into an even higher vibration? And when we hit those plateaus, when it seems like we're not necessarily moving forward, but we're not moving backward, that's our integration point, as we probably have experienced. And they want us to learn to appreciate those points, because when we're not in them, that's when we're wishing we had that moment to just take that breath instead of constantly clearing. So that's one thing that we can work on as we move forward. We have been clearing so much, so quickly, especially in the past few years, doing some really deep work. So our angels want us to appreciate those moments and be fully with them when we do get to take rest, when we do get to take that breath and we don't have to be working so hard to clear energies. That being said, they also want to share ways that are going to make it a little bit more smooth and a little bit more joyful for us to process the energies we need to process moving forward. You are the way showers of this next wave of heart and soul based living. Whether you knew this before or you didn't, if you're here watching this video, you are one of the people who is to show humanity what it's like to live more from the heart, to live more from your intuitive guidance, to trust the universe, the divine, your intuition even more, and to live from that place. When we can do that, we are much less affected by the energies outside of us. Inspiration exists to fill you up, to fuel you, and to show you what comes next. It's really time for you to find the inspiration in this beautiful world. There is so much here to be inspired by, and no matter how many lifetimes you've lived, where you've lived them, you chose to be here now at this magical moment in time where the big shift has been happening. That being said, you also chose to be in this place, this world that is unlike any other, where you get to experience things in ways not like anywhere else. The angels are asking you to have your heart, your eyes, your mind, your soul, all of your senses open so that those moments of inspiration can reach you with ease. There are so many miracles that happen every day, micro miracles, macro miracles, to be seen, understood, interpreted, and appreciated. It can be something as simple as watching a line of ants move from one place to another and follow the exact same path. If this is something that you see and it strikes something in you and makes you want to watch, makes you want to be with it even more, stay there, stay with it, be fully present with what you are experiencing. Let your senses take over and enjoy it. So many people who are spiritually focused are constantly trying to get out of this world, to get out of this body. And there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while, right? That is part of our spiritual process, to transcend, to see what's next. But the thing that we forget is that the way to do that is to be fully present in this life experience. That's why we chose to be here now. Our biggest learning is to get ourselves comfortable in this 3 and 4D environment, to override the ego notion that we should not be part of a vibration this low. Be with it, be present in it. You are in this world and not of it, but neither is anybody else. We are all guests here. We are all inhabiting this planet to make it a better place in some way. And when we can get fully present, even if it's with a line of ants, a flower that we're seeing bloom, a scent that we love. We all work differently. We all have a preference for a predominant sense. So pay attention to your senses and be in those moments. Those are inspiring. Those are soothing. When we do that, when we are fully present, we are grounded in this body. And the great spiritual irony is that we cannot reach spiritual heights if we are not grounded in this reality. So if we go into a meditation, which is another great way to receive inspiration, it's a great way. It's not the most efficient way. The most efficient way is to work through our senses. But meditation is a beautiful thing, and it can have so many benefits, including inspiration. But if we are not grounded before we go into meditation, we may reach the inspiration and we may even bring it back with us, but it can't go anywhere. We can't take action because our energy is not grounded to this reality. So we are not being of service if we are not allowing the inspiration to fully take root and to move forward with it. Now, that doesn't mean we necessarily need to move forward right away. The inspiration may take a little while to manifest, but our angels want us to understand the process so that we can be more open to it. When we can receive inspiration, it does several things. It brings us into the present moment, and when we're in the present moment, we are in meditation. It creates an open energy pathway. Everything that would have blocked messages from getting through to us when we're in our heart and we're in meditation, those things all fall away. They fall to the earth. And when we are there, the energy can come through. That energy pathway is clear immediately, and we can receive. Inspiration in this way can also maybe refresh a pathway we haven't used in a while. The way we used to get inspired all the time, and we've changed our focus. That pathway can be reopened and deepened and merged with something new. And when we are fully present, we move into an energy of full alignment. Our awareness is here. Our attention is here. The beautiful thing is that when I'm watching that line of ants, when I'm watching that ant carry the crumb, when I'm watching that flower open, when I'm feeling that sensation that I love so much, when I'm smelling that scent that brings me fully into the moment, whatever it is for each of us, when we're experiencing that and when we can be fully present, all separation drops. We merge into oneness. There is no separation between me and the ant, me and the scent, me and the flower. There is no separation. I am the flower and the flower is me. I am the ant and the ant is me. And this is that high spiritual state of enlightenment that we are all seeking. Do you see how this is so powerful? Inspiration also opens up the channels of creativity within us. When we can be in creative flow, we are creators, we are co-creators, and there is nothing standing in the way of us creating and co-creating the life that we want, the world that we want, because we are in the flow of it. The angels have asked me to share an experience that I had recently with inspiration and how amazing it is. I was at an art supply store and I saw this gigantic canvas and I just felt so inspired. And I said, what can we do with that? And I looked at it and I said, okay, not practical right now, but I know it's here if I need it. I left the store, and the next day I was speaking to somebody who runs an art program, and they were sharing about an art show and how they were approaching the art show with clients who it can be difficult to get them to work on art projects independently. So I said to her, I saw this giant canvas in the art store the other day, and what if you did a group painting? What if you did a group project and everybody got to work on one piece? And she said, that's a great idea. And then she said, hey, would you help me put together this show? And I said, sure, it'll be a lot of fun. The point of all of this is just asking the question, being in that moment of inspiration and saying, what can we do with this? Opened things that I would never have even thought of that can now come to me. This can happen the same way for you. We align ourselves with the vibration of the inspiration, which is unique to each of us. Another person would have walked into that store, not been inspired by that, but maybe have been inspired by something totally different. The beautiful thing about this is because it's unique to us, it opens up frequencies that attract energies that are exactly what we would like because we are in the moment of what was uniquely inspiring to us. And the fact that that vibration is now open and the magnetism starts working, it's bringing us exactly what we would love. And it doesn't necessarily have to work that quickly. It could work even quicker than that, or it could take a little bit longer. But you're setting up the energy for it to happen. We need to have this experience of being grounded, being able to make energy move. So in the example I gave, energy moved quickly because I was present, and it can always do that because you're present, because you're grounded, because you become open. When we are not fully grounded, our openness isn't full because we are not open to being part of this world. There is a piece of us that is closed off. So when we can get ourselves to be part of this world as well as to be inspired, that's when energy can move. That's when things can take root. That's when miracles can happen that are completely in resonance with what we are here to do, with a way that we can serve, a way that we can experience joy. This is necessary for ascension. If we can't get ourselves to be part of this world, to allow the inspiration to be part of our lives, we cannot reach the next level of ascension. And that is what the angels want us to understand, is this next movement of energy requires that we allow ourselves to be inspired, because that is how we're going to know what to do next. The angels are also saying that as sensitive and empathetic people, we have a lot to deal with, and they understand that. And they're also saying that there is a tendency when we most need inspiration, when we get to that point where we're kind of depleting energy and we need more energy. Inspiration is a great way to get it. But a lot of times what we do instead is we isolate, we hide away so that we can replenish ourselves. So they're urging us to shift slightly. They're not saying that we don't need that time to replenish. What they are saying though is that it's important for us to reframe how we do that. We don't have to go out and be around a whole bunch of people if that's not what we're feeling. Or maybe it's an experience that we need at the moment, but we should become more open to moving out of our usual patterns. So maybe instead of sitting home on the couch and reading a book, which is also good, if that's our normal way of dealing with recuperating and getting our energy back, maybe we go out and we take a walk on a nature path with our dog or by ourselves, and we allow ourselves to just be fully present in that walk. No talking on the phone, no texting, just allowing nature to be with us. Be with all 5 senses and let your senses experience nature and see what happens for you. That's just one example. What they want us to understand is we can't be inspired if we're hiding. We can't be inspired if we're not trying something new. The science behind this is that we have these neural pathways that are like rivers running through our brains. And every time we follow a similar behavior, every time we do something the same way or a similar way, that neural pathway, that river is deepened, and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and they get more and more worn into the brain. When we shift to something new, we open up a new neural pathway. We do something different, and it's almost like a little bit of a shock to the system, and the system takes a minute to kind of adjust, and in that moment, we can experience something we've never experienced before. We get ourselves out of that rut that we've been following over and over, and we do something new. Even if it's just walking down a different block or using a different essential oil than we normally use. Inspiration takes you out of those deep grooves, out of those ruts, and opens you to possibility. So remember that in order for you to move forward, in order for the inspiration to take root in your life and the fruits of the inspiration to be realized, to receive what's next, you have to be willing to be fully present on this planet. And that can feel overwhelming, but we can do that one breath at a time. We can do that together. You can reach out to people like you, find spaces where there are sensitives, where there are other people that experience life the way you do. Find a place where people understand and they can support you through trying to do something new, through trying to be more present, through trying to be open to your inspiration so that you can truly, truly do the work that you're here to do, hold the vibration that you're here to hold, and receive with full openness the messages and the guidance that you're here to receive in order to do what you're here to do and make this world that much better. We need you, and we want you to be in your full joy. And when you receive inspiration, when you experience inspiration, that's your joy. That's something that's resonant to you. So the angels know exactly what to send you, exactly what to show you as your next steps. There's no question. They then know. That feels very complete for this month. Thank you as always for being here, for leaving comments on these videos, for sharing them out with people who need to hear these messages. If you would like to go deeper with your angels, there are a few spots on my calendar for private intuitive angel readings. In these readings, we go deep with your divine and angelic teams. You can bring any questions you want. Nothing is too big, too small, or off limits. These times together are like loving conversations between you and your divine team, your angelic team. And you will leave feeling lighter, feeling seen, heard, loved, held, seeing things from a bigger perspective, and feeling like you know more what to do next. If a private reading isn't for you right now, then join our next Angel Transformation Hour, the group angelic reading, where you can bring your questions, hopes, and dreams to the group, and the angels will answer them for you there. I am so grateful for you, the way you show up, and that you are part of this community. I am truly blessed to be here with you. I'm sending you so much love, and I look forward to being with you again soon. Bye, everyone.